So I'll start off with a couple of quick disclaimers. Much like I say about the Leonard product videos, this isn't a channel dedicated strictly to Leonard or strictly to Final Faction merchandise. It just seems that way, considering the last few videos I've put out. This video is just sort of a random video, hence the category it's placed under, the playlist it's on. When I was poking around, editing the last couple of videos, and I was looking for pictures, eBay screenshots of the Family Dollar Arrow, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I stumbled across these. So since I hadn't seen any, I went ahead and ordered them. I paid about $5 a piece for each figure, so that kind of stings a little bit. And then a day after I received them and was planning on making the video, I walked into a Dollar Tree, and there they were. Wasn't too happy about that. But I guess I'm happy that I have them at all. So since I've got them, let's go ahead and check them out. As you can see on the backs of the packaging for Torn and Scope and Churro, the previous Series 2 releases, the other characters that are planned for Series 2 are all blacked out. Kind of like the old G.I. Joe cards that would have the upcoming figures. So you could just see the outline, so you kind of had an idea of who it might be. Kind of a similar idea there. But on the backs of these newly released figures, you can see that the whole lineup is there, including the P-131, Diabol, Crepitus, and the Crawler, which I'm guessing is the vehicle that Diabol is seen in during episode 2. So that kind of gives us an idea of what to look forward to. And I'm wondering if they are just going to put out Series 2 in smaller waves. So as you can see, we've got Riptide featured in the second episode of Final Faction with his scuba gear here. It also says he has 3 color-changing pieces to detect Karn danger. And according to the packaging there, it's a warm water activated color changing kind of gimmick. And maybe we'll check out that feature a little later. And then there is Amari, which I can't recall. I honestly can't remember who was talking about it, but they were saying she's supposed to be the tallest member of the team, the biggest member of the team. And I'm kind of impressed that they did reflect that in the actual sculpt of the figure. Because as you can see, she is a bit taller, maybe a quarter of an inch, I can't really tell exactly. A little bit taller than the other figures. For the most part, all the other characters are pretty much in the same size range, but it's cool that they actually, you know, reflected her height difference in the toy itself. And I'm also enjoying, we've already established I enjoy a faceless android and a werewolf, but another thing I enjoy is a mohawk, so I'm digging that. It also says on here that she proudly wears her father's Air Force bomber jacket, but are you sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure that's not standard issue. That shiny gold jacket, I'm pretty sure if you showed up to fly in that, they'd say, Airman, what do you think you're doing? But anyway, yes, I don't know if that's, if they'd actually let you get away with that extremely shiny jacket or not. Okay, so let's pop them open and take a closer look. Okay, so Riptide, looking pretty cool. No backpack or anything like that, but I'm sure you could probably swap out some of the accessory packs if you wanted to. He comes with the his breathing apparatus and face mask that goes on. We've seen a similar sort of design for that in other action figures. Peg pops into the hole in the chest, and the visor goes over the face, like so. Fits on nicely. No real paint detail on the breathing apparatus or the face mask, but that's fine. I mean, like, you know, I would like a transparent mask, but that's okay. I understand. I understand if they didn't do that. You got 2 little pegs on the side of the harpoon, forearm mounted harpoons. Pop into the forearms like that. Kind of impressed by this small detail that the harpoons actually do come out. They're not spring loaded or anything, but that's still pretty cool. So if you want to pretend like he has fired them off, you can do that. No line attached to it, but that's okay. Yeah, very cool figure. Unfortunately, the knives aren't detachable, but that's okay too. Now, if you look real close, you can see these are your color change areas on the wrist and the front of the breathing apparatus. So we'll have to test that out.
See ya! Help me! Somebody help me! Torpedo!
Keep cool! Use your head, don't lose it! Open and close your legs like a scissor. Keep up a steady rhythm. Now cup your hands downward and move them in a figure 8 motion.
I'm treading water!
You got it! Never play around water alone.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe!
Okay, so I soaked our guy in some warm water for a couple of minutes, and you can see a minor color change on there, which I figure you could probably just achieve relatively the same effect by just pressing your fingers on it for a few seconds. So that's kind of cool. When I was drying him off, I did manage to pull one of the nodes right out of his arm and it bounced off into oblivion, so who knows where that went to. My knack for breaking things remains intact, even if the action figure itself did not. So maybe that color change gimmick is a little more trouble than it's worth, but maybe you should go the smart route, like I figured out too late, and just press your fingers on it if you want to get that color change to sort of work. And here he is with the Phoenix pack accessory from the Covert Ops accessory pack. So yeah, you can add stuff like that to him if you want to gear him up a little bit more. I think that looks pretty cool. Then we've got Amari, looking pretty darn cool. I'm enjoying all of this design. I do like the way that the shiny gold bomber jacket and bracelets contrast with the all black body armor and boots. Kind of has an Ultimates modern superhero, maybe midnighter type look to the combat outfit, combat suit. I'm digging it. I'm liking it a lot. The only accessory she comes with is her main weapon, a modified baseball bat, which is pretty cool. She would probably benefit from being kitted out a little more with the accessory packs also. Maybe some pistols or something for some long-range attacks to expand her arsenal. So yeah, looking good. I'm digging that. And there's that size difference we were talking about. I'm impressed by that particular detail as well, as I mentioned before. Okay, I am liking those figures, and now let's take a look at the Family Dollar version of the Arrow.
To protect America, a top-secret team creates the battle vehicles of the future. We're in real trouble here, Hawk! I'm calling in Battle Force 2000! Battle Force 2000! Secret Force of G.I. Joe! They're splitting in two and reforming! Battle Force 2000! It's a contract! They can take on any foe! Oh, G.I. Joe! Will Battle Force 2000 finally defeat Cobra? Find out in Marvel Comics.
Okay, so as you can see, just at first glance, there's a little bit more going on with this particular version. Comes with scope, of course. He's got his basic, all the gear that he comes with in the standard $1 figure, all kitted out as you would expect. But then, yeah, you can clearly see the difference in the Arrow. Nice little mock-up on the top, a little explainer, code to scan, to watch the cartoon on your phone, stats on the back for the ATV and for scope, and then a little view of the vehicle, what you're getting on the side there. So that's pretty cool. So you can see the guns are actually not just a single black piece of plastic. There's some two-tone, gray tone going on there. So that's a nice little touch, gives it a little bit more detail. It makes it look a lot more visually striking, especially with the addition of the red. And you can even see a little bit on the armor plate. There's some red in there as well. I know you're thinking, why don't you open it? Well, I'm just reluctant to because I don't have a backup for this one. Basically, it's a pre-built, more detailed, paint-wise version of the Arrow. If there's any glue that's been added to hold it together, I'm not seeing it. It's either extremely well hidden, or it's either extremely well concealed, or maybe they just didn't add it. I don't know. But it looks good, and I think it is probably worth that $5 price tag that was on it when it originally appeared in the Family Dollar stores. I also managed to stumble across someone selling this for 10 bucks. I managed to haggle a little bit and get them talked down to about $8.75, so they made their money back plus a little bit of profit, and I didn't have to pay, like some of these guys were asking, 25 bucks plus 10 bucks shipping or whatever. I didn't have to pay any of that. You got a fairly decent deal. You can see it side by side with the standard issue buildable Arrow. So yeah, that little bit of paint does punch it up quite a bit. Makes it look really nice. So there you have it. Some more cool additions to the team, some more cool figures for the line, and some cool figures at the price we like. No sign of any of the other figures yet. No Diabol or Crepitus or any of the Karn forces. Maybe they'll be coming soon. I say that and they've probably just been released into stores and I just haven't seen them yet. Kind of like Amari and Riptide just a few days ago. So yeah, basically, like I always say, when I'm talking about this line. It's really good stuff for the price point. The gimmicks are always pretty interesting, even if they're not executed perfectly. The fact that they even attempt them at a $1 price range is admirable. The designs are always cool and interesting, and the characters are pretty cool too. And like I always say, I'm looking forward to seeing what else they can do with this line. So, okay, I guess we'll wrap it up. Amari and Riptide and the curious case of the Family Dollar arrow. I won't say solved, but at least explored a little bit. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for being here. And until next time, I will see ya.
They are the final faction.